Hey, what's up you guys? DJ Mama here, and we're here to cover an Edison version of Skull Servants. So, when it comes to weird janky decks, I do love Skull Servants a lot. And yeah, I think this is just going to be a funny little deck list. It's not going to be the most competitive Edison deck for sure, but I think there's some fun things in this deck that could be explored for sure. So let's get on to it, shall we? So, I love Skull Servants. These guys are so funny. And they only get cards that just keep increasing Skull Servants' attack points and milling potential. And to start off, we have 2 vanilla Skull Servants. I don't feel like running 3 is good at all. The vanilla is the vanilla. It's only 300. You only want to see it in the graveyard. That's the only place you want to put it. And there's a lot of ways you just mill the Skull Servants out and just have them be there for what they need to be. What you need to run 3 of course, is 3 King of Skull Servants. He can only go up to pretty much, what is it? What's the max? If you're maxing out on the Skull Servant names, it's 8K. Could be 3 this, but it has to have one field. So you're on already 6, and then 3 lady, but we're only on 2. So I think this is probably the correct package. We only play enough. You could maybe play the 3rd lady in white, but it's not as good as you think. We only play as many as we can here, and I think this is only the correct one. You only need him to get like what, 4K, and he's already good enough to hit over most everything in the format. Next up, we have 2 Goblin Zombie. Of course, we're playing the good zombie stuff into this deck. Gobbo. Doobie Gobbo, just adding pretty much all the names besides Lady in White. So adding just King is just fine. And next, we're on 1 Mizuki. Only the 1 up in the format. It is upsetting he's not only at 1, but maybe if he was a multiple copies, it would be a little too nasty. Next up, our normal summon, Zombie Master. Pretty good card. Gets the Skull Servants out of your hand for sure, and summons either King or Gobbo back, which is, well, enough. Our last zombie here, Plague Spreader. Just can't get enough of this guy. He always just shows up and does what he needs to. Good for synchro laddering, and he's actually going to serve a little more purposes in the extra deck than you'd think. Card Trooper. Once again, we're just getting cards in the graveyard. We're playing every almost mill card we can. We've got a boss monster in Dark Arm Dragon. We also have Gores and Trag included. So there's that. And next up, we're on a package of all time for sure. Rounding out the monster lineup is 3 Ryko and, of course, Nimble Mega Hamster. We want to mill cards as much as possible. And I think with Charge and Lightsworn is the best one, but Ryko I think is the best because we need some spot removal just in case. And then Nimble Mega Hamster gets to Ryko, and that's all you need to know. Next up is 3 Book of Life, aka banish 1, summon 1 back. We don't have Monster Reborn in the format, but this is the closest thing we got. It's really good for zombies, and of course for Skull Servants. Next up is a copy of Allure of Darkness. Everything is here mostly dark besides Card Trooper and Ryko, and of course Nimble Mega Hamster, so it's easy to find a lovely dark target to banish. We're also on Burial from a Different Dimension. Where's my other cards? Card Destruction, Charge of the Light Brigade, Foolish Burial, oop, put them together right there, and Heavy Storm, rounding out some more one-ofs. Charge, you don't really need explanations for these. This is good, all these are decent, and we have our main deck out for back row. And rounding out our one-ofs, 1 for 1, of course, summon out King. Also, Pigeon Cards for the hand is pretty nice too. And next up are 2 of Pot of Avarice, just to mess with the graveyard a little bit. if we end up milling too many things that we don't want to mill, like Gore's Trag, and other things we might need, we just want to draw 2 cards, there's our way out. Next up, double terraforming. And our one target, Zombie World. So Zombie World's great, because not everything, of course, is a zombie, but turning everything into a zombie in the graveyard helps Book of Life a lot. That's all I'll say. And then rounding it out to 40 is 2 Needlebug's Nest. AKA, just mill 5 cards. So I'm just trying to mill, we're just trying to get our king real big, and then our graveyard fill enough. Pot of Avarice also messes with the dark count, which could help, as will Book of Life. So have some decent win conditions in this deck. Love that you can summon Dad through Book of Life if Zombie World is up. And sometimes it also helps with Lady in White's protection to just Plagues and Ryko, really. Sometimes it helps. And Card Trooper. Card Trooper's the big one. I do like that Lady can protect Card Trooper. Alright, so that's the main deck. On to the lovely extra inside. God, I wish this card was at more than 1, but I guess I understand why it's in 2010. It's at 1. Alright, to the extra deck. We have 2 copies of Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Once again, Fortress Dragon makes an appearance. You can cut him for more synchro tools, but I still like him. He's a dude. And of course, Cataster, Brio, and Erziquiaz. We also have Goyo Guardian, and 2 Plague Spreader specific cards. Archfiend Zombie Skull, and Doom Kaiser Dragon. So these require specifically Plague Spreader Zombie, and they need a non-tuner zombie, but luckily with Zombie World, everything in your deck is usually a zombie. So I like these cards. The only one I'm missing is Revived King Hades, which probably could replace Doom Kaiser Dragon, but I would play all 3 because why not? And we're also playing double AFD to search out Zombie World into special cards from our hand. That could be gumming up some things. We're also playing Black Rose, and that's the end of our 7s. On to the 8s, we're on a Colossal Fighter, an RDA, Stardust, and a Thought Ruler. So yeah, this is the list so far. We can put like Dark End Dragon in here over like maybe Colossal Fighter, but I think this is fine the way it goes. It is what it is. It's not teched out to the 9s, but it will suffice for sure. And then we move on to the side deck. So our side deck consists of course, 2 Cyber Dragon. Gotta play for the Chimera Tech. Next up, 3 Thunder King Ryo. This card's crazy. I'm surprised this card's at 3 in this format. It's so nasty. This card, I think, I know, gets limited around Dragon Ruler or maybe even earlier, just maybe 2013, 2012. I can't believe it took that long for this card to get hit. It's so nasty. We have another charge target in here as well. We got Aaron. Aaron deals with all the sentiment monsters who kind of might maybe stall us out, but it's also a decent charge target. Also, milling 3 is nice. But Snipe Hunter's here. This man is crazy. Pitching cards, always going to be good in this deck. Next up are our take targets. So Brain Control and Mind Control, both limited in this format. I'm going to take your monsters. Hopefully we're also under a zombie world, and we take them and we can sync up with them because they're zombies. And I can use them for Archfiend Zombie Skull and Doom Kaiser. Next we're on Soul Release and Giant Trunade and an MST. I just need to get rid of some stuff in your graveyard and on your field trap, so your spell and traps. Another tech, I don't know why this card's limited. Gravity Bind in 2010 is limited. That's kind of crazy. One Solemn Judgment and one Torrential Tribute. Round it out. So that's the deck. Let me know your comments, questions, concerns down below, and I hope to get back to you soon. Hopefully you enjoyed this janky Skull Servant deck list. I could probably main deck these cards, but I don't know what I would take out. Maybe the heavy and 1-for-1, not the 1-for-1. Maybe the Allure can come in over the controls, the Mr. Takes. But I like where this is at, so it's gonna stay that way. But let me know if you have any changes, suggestions you'd make, and I might listen to them. So hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.